So I was talking with him, guys. I need to find ways to make money because I have debts. I have to pay my debt. If something happens to me, my family will take on that debt, and for them, that 8,000 Canadian dollars is equal to 2 years of living in Egypt. No way I'm gonna go give them that debt. So I had to do my best. And then at that moment, someone suggested I volunteer at some people places to just gather experience, and I did that. But I still had time. So I was just sitting there brainstorming, and I'm this person, just this beautiful person. Her name is Amber. She said, Abraham, lately I've been gathering the youth.
Welcome to the Newcomers podcast, everyone, where I explore what it means to be an immigrant with immigrants like myself and those who work in the immigration sector. Today is the second episode in my limited series with ISSofBC. That is one of the biggest immigrant serving settlement organizations serving people in British Columbia. I mean, they're based out of Vancouver, where we explore the stories of refugees who've moved to Canada. And today with me, I have Ebrahim Al-Yousefi.
Hello, hi.
Ibrahim's story is amazing. So I'm actually, I've been doing research on you. I'm actually looking forward to just talking with you about your
Go
story.
ahead. I'm an open book. I'm an open book. Ask away.
I think the first thing I want to ask is I feel like you've told, and I asked Dashers the same question, I believe. Dashers was the first episode. Folks, hope you've listened to that one. I asked Dashers. It's obvious. And when I was doing research, I was like, yo, this guy has told his story to people in different ways. But what are the parts of it that you don't really talk about that much?
You want to really know?
I really do want to know it, because here's why.
Go ahead.
Because more often than not, I find that people strip out the story, and because some people don't want to face the pain that comes with the parts that you don't talk about. And I want to hear that part, because I think it's important, because when people talk about refugees in Canada, they tend to forget that what you all get through to show up every single day and live life as normal people like every one of us.
Well, just start off. I'm a very fortunate human being. Throughout my life, I've met a lot of wonderful people, and one of which was a very dear friend of mine. His name is Muhammad. And right now, I'm currently in my third year in Canada. And if you asked me 4 years ago, so I'm currently in my third year, if you asked me 4 years ago, Ibrahim, would you have imagined stepping foot in Canada? I would say no. Not because I didn't believe in the ID. It's because I didn't even have it. I I was just sitting in my room one day, and suddenly I received this phone call from Muhammad. And Muhammad is a very dear friend of mine. And I know what you might be thinking. Oh, Muhammad, that's such a common name. No, no, this Muhammad is special. He's just different. He's one out of a billion. Yeah, he is a visionary. The guy saw stuff and opportunities and had the courage to pursue them that I would never have imagined. So, uh, yeah, I just received this phone call. Ibrahim, assalamu alaikum. Wa alaikum salam, Muhammad. How are you doing? I'm doing good, Ibrahim. Tomorrow, I'm planning to go to the port of Alexandria, the shipping container port. I need to find a route to Canada. Will you accompany me to Alexandria? And he was talking with me, and I was looking straight at a 600 Egyptian pounds. My mom that day, seeing how hard I was working, she just decided to give me that amount. And 600 Egyptian pounds comes roughly around maybe 30 USD, or even lower. But to me, that was it. You know, life is good. I'm gonna go to the gym. I'm gonna go on protein, my creatine. Everything is just settled. But I looked at it and I told him, "Done. See you tomorrow." What followed is us borrowing a huge sum of money from this businessman. Uh, and a couple of things happened, and then voila, I am in Canada. I would never have taken that initiative without having that dear friend of mine with me. And I guess a part of the story that I haven't shared thus far is the actual friend that I had how it just made it start.
Hmm.
And yeah, maybe that's a part of it I haven't shared. Yeah.
But again, like, so you're originally from Yemen.
Yes, yes, yes. Maybe I skipped a bit of parts.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're originally
yeah.
from Yemen, and then like if you look at the Ibrahim from Yemen, who were you before any of all the chaos started? All the
I was a weird kid. uh, so yeah, the war in Yemen occurred back in 2015, and my family weren't united. Like my father and oldest sister were outside of the country for medical treatment for my father, and it was just me, my older sister. I have two older sisters, second oldest, my younger sister, and my mother. Suddenly, out of nowhere, rockets everywhere, just waking us up in the middle of the night. Uh, my mom, she's my superhero. At that moment, she did something very incredible. She sold all of her life just for us to leave the country to Saudi Arabia. And the year after, 2016, Yemen was declared as the world most like the biggest famine crisis
Mhm.
occurring in Yemen in 2016. So I'm eternally grateful for my mom to take that initiative, to take that step, and having to deal with kids. I was maybe around 10 years old around that time, and then we stayed in Saudi Arabia, and then we moved to Malaysia, and then we moved to Egypt. You know, a typical refugee
Yeah.
story. People that flee war don't really know where to settle because of the legislations, I guess, through that country that they're trying to seek refugee in. And then we stayed in Egypt. Egypt was a very nice, good country to a degree in regards to just allowing us to sit there legally. Most countries just stops after a couple of months or just throws at you a lot of uh, fees in regards to just renewing your visas. Uh, and in Egypt, again, I was a very quirky kid. I didn't really have the opportunity to do anything. You know, I relied a lot on my mom. That's why I think that my mom did something very incredible just to inspire me to do good in this world, no matter how bad things are. And I guess one of the beauty that we got out of that phase of my life is that it's how it united us as a family, as a whole. It just showed us truly that no matter how much we lose, and we lost a lot, do you see, we lost a lot. No matter how much we lose, we still have each other's back, no matter what. And that unity, I'm eternally grateful for. And you just do good with what you have and more good will follow.
You know what I'm trying to put together is when you talk about the kid before the man I'm talking to right now, and I'm just trying to understand what changed.
Go ahead.
Well, I mean in a good way because like it feels like you know how where things happen to you and along the way you just go like, look, man, I have to live this life because you exude this energy that I just kind of explained where you're just saying, you know what, I'm gonna do this stuff like because I feel like I've probably interviewed over 200 people the past 3 years, so I feel like I've gotten very good at picking people's energies. Like, so, and you really, really exude a very interesting energy. And so
Really
when you talk
interesting.
about
You're so nice, dude. Yeah, come on. You're so nice.
no, I'm being honest, honestly,
Okay,
because
okay.
yeah, because it's like I'm like the quirky kid, and all that, and the kid, the man, because the man I'm talking to now is like, what happened along the way, and how did you get to this point? you
I have
know,
absolutely no idea. I think God is great, and I'm incredibly fortunate for the opportunities that He gave us. And I came to this realization in Canada. That realization came in Canada. So back in Egypt, I was playing soccer one day with my friends, and after we finished playing that game, I was heading back home. And when I take back home, I use the public transit system. We didn't have trains, just buses. We call them microbus. And when I was walking back home, I saw this elderly man, someone in his late 40s, mid start early 50s, riding on this rusty bike, wearing a white robe that's completely dusted, a bit yellowish because of how much dust it has accumulated. Behind him, two tanks of gas. The man was working. 12 a.m., midnight, basically, midnight, still working. And to me, I said, how is he living with himself? This man, how is he doing this? This is I don't want to be like that. As someone like him, you don't have health coverage, you don't have insurance, you don't have your retirement plans, nothing at all. I don't want to be like that. I'll do the impossible to make sure that I'm not like that guy. Fast forward a bit, I entered Canada, and I'm grateful for that ever since then. I stayed at this shelter called Cyrus Center. It's a youth shelter based in Abbotsford. I stayed there for a year and a half in their programs, but in the initial shelter, I stayed there for around 100 days, which is, around 3 months, 4 months. I saw a guy in front of me. So, people, youth, and I'm no way, disregarding their pains, their struggles. No, no, really. Some people really sometimes just hit rock bottom. But there's this teenager sitting next to me, just blaming how everyone in his life is against him. And in front of him is a MacBook M3 chip. Like, what? That in Egypt you don't see that. It's like sealed under behind like glass doors. You can't approach it. But he has that. He has people that are feeding him. He has people that are providing shelters. But he is motionless. And I came to realize, and then a couple of days passed, and I was asking myself one question, just one question, Duzia. Who's in a better position? The elderly man that was biking with two gas tanks in the middle of the night, or this teenage guy that still has his life in front of him, sitting there motionless? And I realized something, that in life, you would never be satisfied unless you are right now. And satisfaction comes from gratitude. And to be really grateful, you need to realize what you, and I guess me in this case, have. Not what the influencer has, not what your friend has, not what your relative has, but what do you currently have? Me, Ibrahim, I have my age. I have my youth. I have my energy. I have my time. I don't have a lot of commitments right now, aside from supporting for my family, of course. But I don't have kids. I don't have. I don't need to pick them up in the middle of the day. I can work on myself. I can invest in myself. And with that realization, you become patient. And patience is never described as passive waiting. It's always to ferociously tackle every single opportunity that you have, and then you wait. And then you are patient. And that's something that I realized throughout my experiences, and I'm eternally grateful for that. I hope it kind of makes sense what I
Yeah,
just
yeah,
said.
it does. It does actually. It really does. And I love the passion. It's almost as if you answered the next question I had for you, which is literally, and maybe you still have more to say about this, but it just feels like, when did this journey you've been on so far, stop being something happening to you and start being something Ibrahim was actively controlling himself?
I don't control anything. I don't control
Okay.
I don't control anything. I don't, micromanaging. That's something that's. I mean, when you woke up this morning, did you have
Yeah.
any idea what's gonna happen? The type of
Nah. Well, I
breakfast,
knew I
how
was
long
gonna
it's gonna
I knew
take
I was
you?
gonna interview you though. So yeah.
Did you know I was gonna be this awesome? So the way that I just deal with it is just, I do my best, and whatever is, I believe in fate. I like in the like how things are written,
Mm-hmm.
and God knows what's best. The big guy upstairs knows what's up. Just period. And I think faith to me was something that tremendously helped me. Even when I was locked up in the bathroom in Egypt for 3 hours straight, I was nonstop trying to get out of that bathroom. The door was just stuck. But I believe that, hey, things will eventually work out. But sometimes faith can creep up on you with weird ideas that someone from the other side might open the door for you, but no one is there. It was me and my parrot. Not even our parrot. It was just friends of ours. They placed the parrot with us, and my family were traveled somewhere very far away, and it was just me in the home. So you think that, oh, someone might come now and open the door for me. God, please. But it doesn't work like that. You need to always also have that discipline to accept the most brutal facts of your current reality. So I think that also what helped me a bit. Yeah.
It's like, it feels like, I'm curious. Like, it feels like this is a mental state people get, and I don't mean it's a bad way. That, I feel like a lot of humans are privileged, but they don't know. A lot of humans are very privileged, but they don't know. I mean, and sometimes, and privilege depends. Like, it's because, like, when people hear privilege, they always like equate it to wealth. But I feel like privilege itself there are different reasons. I mean, like, my child is probably more privileged than a child in certain countries just because he was born in Canada, for example, that sort of thing. So a lot of people are privileged and you don't know. But I think that when you go through some of the craziest things in life, like literally, for example, see rockets falling around you, I feel like there's a kind of mental resilience you build that almost can't be bought. Like, because you talk too much of for how young you are, if that makes sense. And I feel like it's a thing that comes with what you've experienced with life, and then literally saying to yourself every single day, well, I woke up, motherfuckers, and I'm sorry, I apologize to everyone who's listening. I woke up, but yeah, I'm just gonna go out and do the best with what I have right now. Because that thing you say about accepting the brutal reality of the current moment is easier said than done. It's easier said than done. And because one of our biggest problems as humans is our inability to accept that brutal reality.
I think that I fully agree with you. That's the first thing. And I think we know. I think we know what we have. And I think we know what's the best thing we can do. But I think we also know that deep inside of us, we want an easy way out. We want an easy answer, something that's a hack. Uh, and you can say that I'm grateful by waking up every day and writing in a piece of paper that I'm grateful for my kids, I'm grateful for my family, I'm grateful for the house. But that's not gratefulness. Gratefulness is to act just to the opportunities that are presented to you. That's how gratefulness is represented. It's not represented by talk, it's represented by reactions. And there's a difference. This is something that I once heard, that there's a difference between you just trying to be grateful, and there's a difference between you willing to move mountains, doing everything that's fathomable to you to actually perceive the opportunities that you have. And maybe sometimes we just get carried away, with life. Life is life. Life is lifing, and that's the beauty of life. It just takes you through this roller coaster, as you said to me earlier before we even started this podcast, is that it just gives you like this roller coaster, this opportunity to just discover yourself, learn more about yourself. And that's the biggest thing, that's the biggest lessons. I think some lessons in life can't be really taught in a classroom. You need to experience it, live through them. And if you don't really learn from them, they'll repeat. So that's life, that's life. You just learn about yourself. And yeah, we're just living through it.
This thing you just said about lessons you don't learn and repeat. It's somewhere I read somewhere about. I don't know how true this is. I just read it somewhere, and when you're saying that, I remembered where sometimes life is really in every someone was talking about reincarnation and says that in every human is meant to learn a lesson in life, and if they don't learn that lesson before they die, that God sends them back to earth to make sure they learn that lesson, and they relive the life again. But once they learn that lesson, sometimes I think he was trying to explain why some people die young. He said that once they learn that lesson, then God goes like, okay, well, your time on here is done because you've learned the lesson that your soul was supposed to learn on earth here, and then he takes you away. It was such an interesting explanation. I was like, what?
Yeah. I mean, I don't really. I kind of agree with them. It's sometimes in life, for example, if you treat others bad, they'll treat you bad, and then you'll feel miserable. And then if you treat others again bad, they'll treat you bad, and then you feel miserable. And then suddenly you feel like I don't want to feel miserable anymore. I want to feel good. So you start like, treating others in a good way, and then they start treating you in a good way, and then whoa, you learn something. Boom, new lessons accomplished, new skill, and that's how it is.
Yeah. Is that, thinking about the 10, 9-year old kid who started moving around different parts of the world before he landed in Canada? Is there anything you were good or known for back in Yemen and then probably in all those places, all the other places you stayed in temporarily that mean nothing here?
Oh, that's a really good question. I don't know. Let me think. Anything that was good back there? No, there isn't really. I
That's
think
nice.
most of what I learned and accomplished and improved on was here. Back before I was 17, I'm telling you, I was that kid that's a shut in, that's inside of his room playing in his PS4 7 hours throughout the day. Life just, I blocked everything out of it. My mom was just, I was relying on my mother from A to Z on every single thing. And I am eternally grateful for how passionate and loving she was, although I wasn't really the best son that she deserved. And right now I am doing my utmost best to let her know that, mom, I am grateful. I am really fortunate, and I'll do my utmost best to make you to give you everything that this world has to offer. And I'm sure that some might relate with that, but to me, that's the reality of it. Before I was 17, I was really just that kind of kid, that kind of guy that just uh, is in his room 7 hours a day, doesn't, just blocks out everything.
What changed? How did you switch? Well, what do you remember what's made you switch to the guy who wants to do everything?
I got like this severe lecture from my elder sister.
Severe what?
Lecture. She told me that, Abraham, you're the man of the house, and we don't want to have anyone to rely on except for you. And from what I am seeing right now, you won't amount to anything, and we won't really rely on you on anything else. And to me, at that point, in that, like, when you're young, you're super ambitious, and I deep down, I knew that if I placed my heart into anything, I would find success in it. I didn't really find success in anything I placed my heart in, but I was really determined to find that success. I had that perseverance, for the first. And so after that, I stepped outside of the house. I started looking for work. I sold my PS5, my PS4, sorry. I sold it, sold my monitor, sold everything. Just more focused. I was looking for work, found work, spent my entire summer uh, working, and then I went to school again. Finished my senior year at high school, completed that. Worked a bit with the UNICEF. I got this opportunity. I was really excited about. I worked as a teacher for this life coach program, teaching kids between ages of 10 to 14. And let me tell you something, those kids are diabolical sometimes, but it was a really nice experience. I learned that I learned that sometimes, because I do eventually meet these kids like after a couple of months, and they remember the stuff that I taught. They remember the moments I gave them. And to kids, those small moments could be so impactful, like that compound effect, like when they're 20, 30, that small moment you gave them, compassion, truly just resonates with them. And to me, that's the best feeling I could ever ask for. uh, and then I started learning programming. I joined this remote software development school. They have this idea that when you join for absolutely free. You don't pay anything unless you land a job, and then you start paying us a certain sum. I was really like excited about this opportunity because it's the best thing that I could ever ask for. I had nothing to lose, I literally had nothing. So I just joined to that program, and then I started. I finished it within my seventh month. I learned the essentials of full stack development as a programmer. And then I started looking for work for 2 years. I had zero interviews, zero interviews, zero opportunities. And then suddenly this guy from Berlin uh, has having this startup. They interviewed me for a back-end development developer skill intern position. I completely butchered the technical interview, but the behavioral interview went so well that the guy decided to hire me in the business development team. Uh, I didn't really provide them so much value, but to me, that was like the best win I could ever ask for. It felt like something finally is amounting to something. Like I wasn't generating any money. Uh, but still, I didn't. I was really happy because of that. And then I came to Canada. Canada was like an entire different field. Like when you have opportunities left and right. In Egypt, everything is so enclosed. But when I came here to Canada, I was seeing so much value in front of me because I know what it feels to be starved, not to death, but starved. So when I came here, I was like, whoa, this place is awesome. And I did my best. I did my best.
Sorry, what of your dad?
What happened to my dad? Yeah, we don't talk about that.
That's okay.
Yeah, sorry about that.
No, that's okay. Um, but somewhere looking through your profile, you built a software consultancy,
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
and then you went back. You left that and went to join ISSofBC.
yeah, yeah.
Why that? Like, I mean, software is eating the world. Everyone says build software, build a tech company.
And I'm really good at it. I'm really good at it.
Yeah, then
You
why
know,
did you
you
come
know
back
what I'm
here?
doing right now? I'm building a VPN server, proxy server.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I'm really good at it. Especially now with AI. Woo! Thank you, thank you, technology. You just gave me a boost. Uh, but ISSOBC is special. The Because at a certain point, once you start getting and getting and getting and getting, and for me, I wasn't raised like this. I was raised that we have an equal relationship. You give, I give back. So for me, for years, just receive, 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 receive. It doesn't seem right. I had to do something to give back to pay up. It felt like a debt. And then suddenly, I got the opportunity to connect with ISIS of BC. And I saw that they were looking for volunteers. And I was like, perfect! I can finally give back to this country, to this great country. And I connected with some of them, people from there. And whenever I had an opportunity, I contributed as much as I could. Either going to events, either to translate stuff for them. I had a couple of meetings and so on. Uh, and they were nice. This is the reality of it, yeah. People here in Canada are so nice. I very much love this country. I'm really grateful, and the people here are so nice. Uh, and that's my experience. I'm just maybe the people that I met are just so nice. And then I suddenly this position came up for marketing and communication. The head of communication at ISSBC, she said to me, a wonderful person, eternally grateful for her, said, Ibrahim, why don't you apply? This is perfect for you, for your background. And to me, although work is good, like work is really good for me. And I was also studying at VCC, so things were doing good for me. But when I saw this opportunity, this chance, and it's a contract based,
Hmm.
like that's the type of work at nonprofits. I felt like, yes, this is something I could never waste. So I applied, and to my astonishment, they reached out to me and said, Abraham, you landed the role. And ever since then, my role over there is in marketing and communication, spreading the stories of newcomers who are new to this country, and making sure that they are also aware of the services that this
Hmm.
country provides. And ever since then, every single day when I sleep really good. I sleep really good because I know that I am helping, if it's at least by 1%, newcomers that are out there. It means a lot to me because that 1% could accumulate and stack up over the years. And you never know, maybe just that small reassurance, that small talk, storytelling, that small effort that you placed in could help someone's future kids.
Yeah.
That's a lot. That's more than I could ever ask for. So yeah, the work is very impactful, and I'm grateful for it. And yeah, that's how I ended up leaving the. I'm not even. I didn't leave the consultancy, but I'm focused right now on ISSofBC.
Okay.
Yeah.
I suspect I know the answer to this question, but I've learned a long time ago not to assume stuff. Um, and so this is me digging a bit into this, which is, does this work right now keep you connected to the hardest stretch of your life, or does it
Oh,
help you overcome it?
the hardest. Say that again.
So, like, does this doing this work of helping newcomers, which means that you sometimes you come across people who are like you, who left had to leave countries out of not out of their choice, but just because things were happening. So does doing this work keep you connected to all that memory and stuff, or does it help you just kind of deal with it?
I didn't really think about it in that way. No, I don't. I don't really think about it like that. It's that part of my life. I never disown it. It's part of
I
me.
love that.
It's part of who I am. It's part of what shaped this man that's in front of you,
Yeah.
and I'm incredibly proud of it. And really, like whenever I talk with someone, yeah, I'm a refugee, and I give back. I give back. I'm not just taking. No, I do give back, and just that pride that I'm just grateful for, and the work that I'm doing right now, just simply helping others, that's good enough for me. I'm not really asking for anything in return or in regards to just finding that salvation in myself. No, no, not at all. That's not me.
Beautiful. Building on that, what can you give someone in the shelter in the shelter that someone like me who doesn't have the experience can never give them?
Can you say that again, like in a different way?
Okay, when you walk into a shelter
Yeah.
with refugees who just moved to Canada, what's the thing you can help them with that I can't help them with because I don't have the context?
Oh, I don't know. I'm still looking for. I'm still asking, learning how to ask questions. You want me to provide with this revolutionary answer? Let me think. Let me give me a second. No pressure at all. Let me see. I guess I don't know. I don't know. It's a very it differs. It differs from a person to other. For me, it's I don't really have much commitment, so it was very easy to just adjust myself because if a day passes and you don't eat, that's totally fine. You're on your own. But if you have a family, it's a completely different story. You gotta provide, and when you provide, you gotta also reach out to other sources. So no, I guess it depends on the person. But honestly, like the people that provide the support at the shelter, for example, that I stayed at, beautiful, just absolutely so selfless. Their souls are so beautiful. I'm eternally grateful for the type of support that I received from them, and I think they're doing an incredible job, and I truly respect that. And you know, there was this instance at the shelter that I stayed at, Sire Center, where I was just sitting on the table. I was just brand new, to this country. And just to paint an image before coming to Canada, Canada was such a far fetched idea to me that in no way I'll get here. Remember when we started this podcast, I said I didn't even have the ID because I know that there's a country that's really great called Canada, but in my mind, it's impossible to reach Canada. The only way for someone like me to get to Canada is to do good in your life. You die, you go to heaven, and then boom, you're in Canada. That was the only way. And then I am there in Canada, sitting with people that I only see in Hollywood movies, just blue eyes, gray hair. Whoa, it feels like I was in Disneyland. I was so excited. I was willing to do anything. So I was talking with them, guys. I need to find ways to make money. because I have debts. I have to pay my debt. If something happens to me, my family will take on that debt. And for them, that 8,000 Canadian dollars is equal to 2 years of living in Egypt. No way I'm going to go give them that debt. So I had to do my best. And then at that moment, someone suggested I volunteer at some people places to just gather experience. And I did that. But I still had time. So I was just sitting there brainstorming, and I'm this person, just this beautiful person. Her name is Amber. She said, Abraham, lately I've been gathering the youth and building with them a ukulele made out of plastic. She builds ukulele with the youth made out of plastics. She gathers like disregarded material, uh, and then reshapes that into something beautiful. It's a way, a path to just showcase to people, whoever you are, from wherever you came from, that from nothing something beautiful could emerge. And she said that, Abraham, we can take on that project to sell it, and then in an auction, and then you can pay a bit of your debt. And I did that. I built a ukulele out of plastic with her, and we sold the instrument at an auction, and it helped pay a portion of the debt. Yeah, and she gave me even a necklace, and that necklace has like a picture of us, me and her, holding the ukulele, and behind it was a very inspiring quote. It said, "Victory belongs to the most persevering." So people out there know what's up. Like people out there really just provide the support they give. It's really impactful. It's just that sometimes beautiful things tend to take time. That's the simple answer to this question.
So there's a scholarship named after you, right? First
And
of all, congrats on winning the what's the scholarship called?
yes, yes, I got like three scholarships. Imagine that. I didn't think so. But yeah, I
How does
did.
that feel?
Uh, you know, I went to the ER that day. I had to go to the ER. Apparently, you can get like severe constipation when you're super excited, and that's what happened to me.
I did not know that.
Now you know. Now you know. Apparently, it's a thing. It's a thing. You can get like really excited, and your digestive system just tense up, and that's it just goes to show how grateful and excited I was.
What?
Yeah. So yeah, I was kind of happy. I was kind of happy. And then suddenly I get this news. So I was also excited. I went there back to Abbotsford, shared the news with the people that supported me from the beginning. And a couple of days passed. Suddenly I received this email saying something along the lines, "Hey, Abraham, we were so inspired by your story. We decided to create a scholarship fund in your honor, calling it the A and E Scholarship. It's in my honor and someone else. The E stands for, like, it's taken from Abraham, my name, like it's with an E. And it was the first moment in my life I felt like it means something. The stuff that I did until now, the days that I just, because there are hard days, there are hard days. Those days when I powered through them, they meant something. They meant something. And just grateful. I'm just eternally grateful.
We're rounding up right now. I have like two more questions for you, which is when you wrote like when you wrote how fortunate I am to be in Canada, does that include the hard days too? Or is that just like or does that include the good days, just the good days, or the good days and the hard days?
Oh, so that quote was when I was at my first stop in Canada at an emergency shelter. It was a high school. So no, I haven't been much in Canada. So my first stop when I came to Canada, because I had absolutely nothing, I went to this emergency shelter. It was like this school building in Syria. I stayed there, and then I was laying in the ground, looking at the floor. Total brutal 3 month trip, and I was just really fortunate that I was in Canada. That finally, yes, this I'm here, baby. Yes, let's go. And in regards to just me right now appreciating the good and bad days, of course, like I've read one. I read Atomic Habits. Come on, Atomic Habits is like the bad days are more impactful, much more better than the good days. Like they help a lot. and yeah, just grateful.
Sorry, it's just for my own, and it's going to get into the podcast, so that's okay. Your
All right.
your siblings have moved down here too, or are they still in Egypt? Just you?
Just me. The process here is a bit. It takes time. It takes time. It takes time. That's for sure. And it's not as straightforward as you might imagine if you're a refugee or a protected person like me right now. It doesn't. Things don't really work as smoothly as you might imagine or me imagined. Uh, it's a process. It's a process. And right now, I'm just handling this process as best as I can in regards to just uh, making sure that I'm in a good position to even just sponsorship them here to Canada because the system when you enter their name when you apply for UPR or just in your file uh, it doesn't work. Even the lawyer that was advising me when I came here, I contacted legal aid. That's how I submitted my application to the government. They said that no, it doesn't really work like that, and I don't think it's gonna work, and it's gonna take ages. The best thing for them is to either go to an embassy in Egypt, which they're more likely going to get rejected, or to do same as I, like get into Canada and then submit their applications. But to me right now, like I've reached a state that I'm very comfortable like helping them out with. They're currently in Egypt. I'm hoping to like improve my state, my income,
Yeah.
so I can just bring them here. And I don't even want them to go through the all of the hardships I went through because, as you said, good bad days, and to family members, you always want them to have good days. As much as
Yeah.
as much as possible, as much as possible.
Yeah.
So you try your best. So yeah, so
Yeah.
it's a process.
So you haven't seen them since that, since you left
Uh,
for Alexandria.
yeah, I haven't seen them in a while. Yeah, I haven't
Gosh.
seen them in a while. But I do talk with them, like FaceTime or
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. It's okay. It's okay. I lived like you remember when I was younger. I told you that I just stayed in my room a lot of time. I think that like helped a bit of resilience. So I think it's not all bad. It's not all bad. It's not all bad. Every single bad thing that
Every
happens to
yeah
you,
has a,
it's
yes.
for a reason. It's for a
I
purpose.
agree. I agree. I
It's
agree.
for a
Totally
purpose.
agree.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Totally agree. So my last question for before we get to the book of questions is
Hmm.
what should I have asked you that other newcomers could learn from? Or like what's the one thing what's the one question I didn't ask you in this
Hmm.
that you have an answer for that is important for anyone who's listening to this?
You haven't asked me. I would probably say like integration to the community. I think a lot of newcomers, especially the people that I first met, are so intact to just get magneted to their community. If I'm a Yemeni, then boom, I want to go to a Yemeni community. If I'm from Nigeria, I'd like to go to a Nigerian community. I'd say Canada, the beauty of it is the diversity, and that's something that I noticed from ever since day one. Like walking just down the road, it was the first time in my life I didn't feel discriminated. I didn't feel like I was out of place because you have people from Asia, you have people from Europe, you have people from I don't know South America, uh, North America, indigenous people. You have a lot of diversity in this country, and I think that's what makes it great. And to me, just if you're a newcomer, I would say volunteer, interact as much as possible with people that are outside of your community, because that's where the beauty of this country lies at. And same thing goes with those who have lived a long time in this country or their entire life, they're permanent residents. I would suggest that maybe take a moment to just understand what those newcomers have to offer, and just simply by just with curiosity, you approach the concept with curiosity. You never approach it with success, yes or no. No, you just approach it because you're a curious person. We're all curious creatures, and eventually you realize that, as you said, we're all the same. Nothing's different between us, right?
We're all the same.
We're all the same.
We just have cultural markers that we think make us different.
uh,
But yeah, now book of questions.
what
So
a question.
there are 1 to 291 questions. You just pick one.
Fact number one.
Ah, interesting. Okay, so let's see what we have as number one. Technology has become a part of us. Would you rather lose the use of all motorized vehicles, all telecommunication devices and computers, or one of your hands?
Oh, that's so deep. Come on. Okay, can I choose a different question or that's
No, yeah.
it? That's, I don't know.
You pick one. You pick that.
I wish I had picked a different number.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if it's an answer to be
Gee,
honest.
I don't know. What will you pick?
Me?
Yeah.
You know, I'm tempted to say I'd rather keep control of those things because I can probably build a bionic hand. That's what I'll probably say.
Yeah. I'll probably say the same thing. I don't think
Yeah.
like motor engines we just brought us so far. Computing, yeah,
Yeah.
it's so much for the humanity. But if you're a selfish person, I might keep my hand. Come on, you lose touch, like
I
waking
mean,
up.
but you know, they could. I mean, so that's the thing. It's such an interesting question because you keep your hand, you lose. I don't think the question specifies if it's for all of humanity or just you. I suspect it's just you, not all of humanity.
I don't know about that, does yeah. I mean, if you think about it, when you're so tired from work, you're done like your best, and then you take a shower, and then you lie in bed, and then you have that cozy feeling that yes, life is good. Yes. If you lose your hand, you might less of it.
Right. True.
Right.
Because
So
who says you can't build an alternative for all of that in the
yeah,
end?
yeah. So gotta I don't know. Maybe I keep my hand. I don't know. Come on, motor engines. What do they help? Like they are bad for the environments, right?
Oh gosh. Well,
Yeah.
thank you so much. This has been
Thank you.
amazing.
Yeah, you're
Really good
amazing.
talking to you.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming on the podcast. Thank you for sharing your story. Thank you for all the work you do, and thank you so much for that thing you said about like just giving back as much as you get. Thank you,
Anytime.
Ibrahim.
Thank you so much. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, this was a good one, everyone. So this is episode number 2. See you the next time.